For many, many years, humans have looked at the sky and wondered about the world above. We have written poems and songs about that glowing white pearl hanging in the darkness. Some ancient people even treated it as a holy light, something beautiful that we could never touch or reach. But everything changed in 1969. That was the year the United States announced that Apollo 11 had finally reached the moon. This event created a huge debate all over the world, and it made us start asking some very big questions. If we can reach the moon, why can't we just move there and live? Why don't we build cities and new homes among the stars? Why must Earth be our only home? Why not spread out into the vast space around us? In reality, if we think about it carefully, the situation is not simple at all. From everything we know today, the moon has no food and no liquid water like we have on Earth. It has no oxygen to breathe, no protective atmosphere, and the gravity is not what our bodies are used to. So, how can we colonize a place that lacks all the basic things we need to stay alive? Is it possible for our modern technology and science to find a solution for this? Or is the idea of living on the moon simply impossible, no matter how much technology we have? Welcome to this episode of Midnight Questions. Today, we are going to answer a very important question. Why can't we live on the moon? But before we dive into the details, if you are new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you can see our new videos as soon as they come out. Let's start with a very logical question. Why are scientists even looking for another place to live besides Earth? The answer involves several important points. The first reason, according to the scientific community, is to protect the human race. One day, Earth could face a massive disaster. This could be a natural disaster or something caused by humans, like a nuclear war where all the weapons on Earth explode at the same time. It could also be a giant rock or an asteroid hitting our planet and destroying everything. These fears make scientists believe that humans should spread out. If we live in more than one place, the human race will not disappear if something terrible happens to Earth. Also, if we look at it from an economic side, it makes sense. The natural resources on Earth are limited. If we can build a bridge to other places in space, we can find massive amounts of materials and minerals that we don't have here. But the real question is, where is the right place for humans to go? Even though we dream of living in space, we haven't found a place that is 100% perfect for life. Every place we think about is missing the most basic things we need. Even the moon, which is the closest object to us in space, is actually one of the most difficult places to live in. The conditions there are very harsh for human beings. There are many problems on the moon that are very hard for our bodies to handle. This is why building a home there is much more difficult than it sounds. One of the biggest problems on the moon is the temperature. On Earth, if the temperature goes up or down by just a few degrees, people want to stay inside or leave the area. Now, imagine living in a place where the temperature changes by more than 200 degrees. This is not just a story from a movie. This is the real environment of the moon. During the day, the temperature can reach 120 degrees Celsius. That is hotter than boiling water. But at night, it drops to 230 degrees below zero. So you would be in an oven during the day and a deep freezer at night. The problem is even bigger because a single day or night on the moon lasts for about 14 Earth days. This means if you are in a sunny spot, you have to wait 2 weeks for the sun to go down. The human body cannot handle these extreme changes. The only way to survive is to build everything, houses, cars, and even our clothes, with special heat shields. You would have to wear a heavy, complicated spacesuit every single second you are outside. Can you imagine trying to live your normal life, or even going to the bathroom, while wearing a giant, stiff suit all day and night? It would be an incredibly difficult and exhausting way to live. Another major issue is that the moon has no atmosphere. This creates two big problems for us. First, there is cosmic radiation. Without an atmosphere to protect us, we would be constantly hit by dangerous rays from the sun and space. These rays can cause very serious illnesses and even death. Second, the moon has no shield against space rocks. On Earth, our atmosphere burns up most small rocks before they hit the ground. But on the moon, there is nothing to stop them. This is why the surface of the moon is covered in holes and craters. You can see these black spots even with your own eyes from Earth. Huge rocks hit the moon all the time because it doesn't have a protective layer like our atmosphere. You could spend $1 billion building a small house on the moon, and then a random rock could fall from the sky and destroy everything in a second. You might try to build it again, but space has more rocks than we have money. Then we have to talk about gravity. Most people know that the gravity on the moon is about 1/6 of the gravity on Earth. Many people think this sounds fun. They imagine jumping very high and feeling light as a feather. At first, it might seem like a game, but the truth is very dangerous. Our bodies are built for Earth's gravity. When you stay in a place with low gravity for a long time, your muscles start to get weak and your bones become thin and fragile. It also affects your heart and your nervous system. These health problems can lead to death. Living on the moon is not a fun game. It is a serious threat to how our bodies work inside. To live there, we would also need to build cities with hospitals, schools, and roads. But the surface of the moon is a nightmare for building. It is covered in a thick layer of crushed rock and dust called regolith. This is a mix of broken stones, glass, and minerals that have been ground down by space rocks over millions of years. This dust is everywhere, and it goes very deep. Also, many parts of the moon are covered in old lava from volcanoes that erupted a long time ago. This means the ground is not good for building stable houses, and it is definitely not good for growing food. Our new home would be a place where the soil is dead and useless for farming. When we talk about space, we have to look for places that already have the things we need. It would be much cheaper to live in a place that has good soil and an atmosphere. But on the moon, we have to bring everything with us. Statistics show that building a tiny base for just 10 people would cost about $10 billion. That is just for 10 people. Imagine if we wanted to send 1 million people, or the whole human race. The cost is impossible for any country to pay. In the end, the idea of living on the moon is extremely difficult because of the high cost and all the environmental problems. But this doesn't mean we will never live in space. The dream is still alive, and scientists are still trying to find ways to solve these problems. Thank you for joining us for this journey. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and share it with your friends.